Greetings, ladies and gentlemen of secular America. How are you doing? It's fine afternoon. It is Wolf King, and I invite you to Beyond Satanic number 2. All right. It's me, Wolf King. Welcome to another episode of Beyond Satanic episode 2. We got chills, we got spills, and interesting stories. So I dropped the link, so if you want to come in, you can do that. Just check the link in the section of this fucking hangout. Pretty fucking simple. And we're off. Okay, what do we have here? What's in the fucking news? Kentucky official refuses to marry atheist couple. Sounds like a nice guy. I'd love to give him
we have a pretty clear case
a kick in the balls.
Discrimination here.
All right. You know what? I almost don't want to have to use my own voice for this shit. So I'm going to let my boy Kyle Klinsky take it from here. I'll talk about it further.
A pretty clear case of discrimination here against atheists. Raw Story reports a Kentucky county judge refused to officiate a couple's wedding after they requested he respect their lack of religious beliefs. Trigg County Judge Hollis Alexander confirmed that he turned away Mandy Heath and her fiance when Heath went to file the necessary paperwork at the local courthouse on the day before their wedding. Quote, "I will be unable to perform your wedding ceremony. I include God in my ceremonies, and I won't do one without." So these guys are like, what? But we're atheists, and we want to get married. And this isn't a church, you're a judge. This is the government. You can't say, because I disagree with your marriage, I'm not going to do it. But you're not a church, you're the government. You're the government. So you're just approving our marriage. We're two atheists, we want to get married, you have to do it. He's like, oh, no, I'm not going to do it. Because I think atheism is wrong. I believe in God, and I put God in all my ceremonies. So I'm not doing it. I'm not going to marry atheists. All right, we could use a little bit of outrage here, please.
Yeah, I would agree. This guy is a moronic piece of shit. So basically, he's treating a courthouse like a church. The insanity. And these people get butthurt when we criticize their nonsense. Here's the thing. You want to be religious, that's fine. Do not push that shit on us in society. Marriage is a secular thing. The only reason they're together and they're recognizing that that coupling is for the sake of tax purposes. That's really all it is at the end of the day. So Alexander's objections have been met with criticism from the Freedom from Religion Foundation, which has already contacted him. Quote, "You have no right to impose your personal religious beliefs on people seeking to be married. Governments in this nation, including the Commonwealth of Kentucky, are secular." The group's letter read, "They do not have the power to impose religion on citizens. The bottom line is that by law, there must be a secular option for people seeking to get married. In Trigg County, you are that secular option." So yeah, You have a government job. That means you don't give a fuck about religion. That means basically it runs by the Constitution, and as such, that is to be ignored for reason and the evidence. The evidence is that these people want to get married for the rationale of tax purposes, and you have to follow that to the letter, sir. Do that or fuck off. Tired of this nonsense. We're so discriminated against because we can't enforce our bullshit on people. Go fuck yourself. You might want that, you're not getting it. Okay. Moving on. Trust me, I mean, if you want to end up like the Kim Davis bitch, you can go ahead. All right, what else we got?
The people who.
Okay. This happened a couple days ago. RT.com USA. On Tuesday night, 33 people in Brooklyn's Bedford-Stuyvesant neighborhood were hospitalized after consuming spice, or K2, that's synthetic marijuana. Witnesses described the scene looking at like something out of a zombie movie. The synthetic marijuana drug, known as spice, or K2, was responsible for the overdose of 33 barely conscious people in Brooklyn on Tuesday. The New York Daily News reported some were taken to the hospital in critical condition. Brooklyn local Patricia Cardozo told DNA Info that the infected couldn't keep going. They kept urinating, vomiting, etc., etc. It is a damn shame that stuff like this is out here. If we actually had marijuana legal, where we could actually have this better regulated. Cops could focus on this stuff, which is actually deadly, while the natural stuff could flow and actually produce money and jobs or reduce crime. Like this. But progress is a slow, gradual thing. And there will be trials like this. Okay, so moving on. We're still on this story, by the way. Mayor de Blasio responded to the mass overdose by announcing a larger scale crackdown to selling synthetic marijuana. We're going to be seeing very rigorous enforcement very quickly. He told reporters we're going to shut down any stores that are doing this. Okay, that's good. He highlighted the issues that are relatively unique to synthetic marijuana, a drug that may assume is harmless or undergo some type of quality control due to the commercial sale of it. All drugs should be approached with great caution, but this one changes all the time in some ways, very dangerous ways. So I want particularly urge parents to talk to your young people about it. Yeah, hopefully that'll be taken care of. Okay, next story. Let's see if I can get a video. Okay. The vigilant Christian Pokemon Go fans, time to put your toys away, men.
All right, hey.
All right.
It's TVC Mario, and you're here for another edition of Satanic Illuminati Media Exposed. In today's video, I wanted to go ahead and make a response video to the video I uploaded called Pokemon Go and the Illuminati's Transhumanist Augmented Reality Matrix Exposed. If you haven't seen this video, I'll leave it linked up in the description section below. What I talked about is the fact that they are really pushing this augmented reality concept with this video game, where an alternate reality is going to be created virtually, a virtual matrix. And if you understand the transhumanist agenda, to
to literally plug us into a matrix, an artificially intelligence-based system, you know this isn't a good thing. So I went ahead and exposed it. But, as I always do, I get a lot of people who get mad. I did a video a while back, Illuminati Celebrity Idol Worship Exposed. American Idols destroyed in Jesus' name.
I mean, you basically take everything that's popular and everything that people obviously like. I mean, in the free open marketplace of ideas, if it has something that that everyone demands, they're going to go for it. Supply and demand is going to be popular by definition. You take that concept and you make it into some Illuminati conspiracy to where everything is popular is satanic, therefore bad. So it's not really surprising why you get hated on. I mean, you go against popular shit not to be unique, but to be like some self-righteous ass, and it really just shows like a lot. Elephant, what do you think?
Well, I never see him doing any videos that's like, hey, here's this really obscure thing that nobody really talks about, but beware of it because it's Illuminati. It's always, oh, this most new and popular thing. It's just for clicks, man.
Yeah, pretty much.
What I showed in this video is, in fact, that anytime I go after things that the world loves, they can't handle it. You see, in the Bible, in the Old Testament, the pagans used to worship idols. And this is what we have in the world today.
Dude, really quick, it's not that they can't handle it. It's just what you do actually isn't new or clever or unique at all. It's pretty much as old as that one song, and probably even further, about that one story about that guy, that blues singer who sold his soul to the devil in order to be like a good musician. Anything that's popular has nothing to do with your religion is obviously going to be seen as a threat. So you basically impose that whole satanic Illuminati bullshit on it to make it be perceived as bad. You can't come up with a good argument, so that's the best you can actually do. It's sad, and it's nothing. Poor as fuck.
It's become idols in which people worship. Pokemon Go has literally become an idol to people, and they cannot handle anyone who goes and destroys their little sad idol. But it's not good for them. So just like in the Old Testament, the people of God would destroy the pagan idols, I'm going to continue to do that on this YouTube channel, destroying the illusions and showing you the patheticness of worshiping the things of this world. So what I'm going to do in today's video is go head-to-head with the Pokemon Go fans and just reply to a few of their comments. Also, what I'm going to show you is that this is an epidemic. Pokemon Go really shows us that we are in the end of time. The Bible says that in the end times, things would get completely backwards. And one of the things that is going to happen is men will no longer be masculine. We are being taught to be effeminate little boys who never truly grow up and get rid of their toys. Men who could stay in their diapers their entire life, playing Pokemon, Star Wars, and wearing their favorite superhero t-shirts.
Okay, three things. First off, I'd have to say, okay, you destroying anything, that's not possible. All you're doing is bitching about comments. I'm pretty sure these people are just saying go fuck yourself, basically. Number two, this is what you always do with anything popular, is that you bitch about it. And three, basically, okay, no. There's actually a third. There's actually a fourth one. Three, what was three? Fuck. He said a lot of stuff. Okay. Okay. I doubt playing a video game that's popular is any worse than being a guy who is barely recovering from going off of like psychoactive drugs and shit, like mushrooms and stuff, and basically crying like a fucking baby, which is what you're criticizing people who like Pokemon Go, that they're all but a bunch of kids, when you're the one who fucking bawls like a fucking infant every time someone questions your faith. So Mario, for all your fucking self-righteous condemnation, you pretty much have shit to say because your shit stinks too. Probably even worse. Alfred, what do you think? Am I in the ballpark?
Yeah, I got two things to say about this too. First of all, the fact that he wants to sit there and trash video games like there's some useless pursuit or something that makes girly men or whatever. We just got done with Games Done Quick, which is a week-long charity auction that benefits Doctors Without Borders and Prevention and Cancer Foundation, and they donate over $1 million to each of those organizations every year. So, I mean, video games can do things. And second, he keeps on using worship so, easily. Like, it's just oh yeah, you can worship whatever you want to worship. Worship is a big deal. To worship something takes a little bit more than liking something a lot. So you can't just be, oh well, people are worshiping these games. No, they're not. They're not worshiping these games. They're not, performing rites to them and blindly following them. They're just playing a game and they like it. It's not worship.
Yep. Anyway, what's up, Skeptic?
Not much. Wow, there's an elephant in the room.
Yeah, don't talk about me.
All right.
I'd pop in and say hello, and so what's I see all kinds of nasty things going on in the world.
Yep. Bunch of nasty, bunch of crazy things. Okay, we got okay, this looks like it'll work. This looks like it'll work like a wicked chicken. Okay, Pokemon Go is demonic spiritual warfare used to execute Christians.
Pokemon Go, yeah, because they found, I think the last one they found Pokemon in a church. And so, they're stating that these are demons out to kill Christians. That was the last statement by, I think his name, what's his name? I saw that yesterday, I think.
I know they have a hard time dealing with like actual science and things like that.
Okay,
but
I found the.
When you say hard time with actual science, I think you really downgraded that quite a bit.
It's Rick Wiles, True News host. Okay, on the. Yeah. Okay.
These are like virtual cyber demons.
Yes, digital demons.
Digital demons. Now, so this is where this starts to get weird. If it's not weird yet, it's going to get weird. So this morning, Doc and Edward and I are in an editorial meeting. We're talking about the topics for today's program. And Pokemon Go was one of the topics.
Right.
Now, this is before the police officers showed up.
Right.
We're talking about Pokemon Go. And Edward and Doc said, Rick, we're gonna present to you a really far out idea about Pokemon Go. What if this technology is transferred to Islamic jihadists? And Islamic jihadists have an app that shows them where Christians are located geographically.
Now you may say, well, how is that possible? Okay, but there's a reason why we ask that.
Yes.
Because the game itself reveals something, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. So after the police officer told us that this man that we saw Friday on our property riding around our building holding his phone,
A grown man.
a grown, 40-year-old man on a four-wheel.
On a what?
Okay, apparently they were complaining about Pokemon Go, like a person, on a bike apparently trying to look for Pokemon, and he, and then they speculated that could probably be linked not just to cyber demons, but also Islamic jihadism. Yeah, because Islamic jihadists love Pokemon. Yeah, my friend, I got a friend who's an Arab and a Muslim who plays a lot.
Okay,
However,
I know something
he's
about
one of my
computers. How
mistakes,
would that work?
huh?
I know something about computers. So how would that work? How
So
would
I don't know, man.
jihadists use this program to?
They're full of shit. They're paranoid as hell.
Hey, no, that's what I'm saying. How would this work? It doesn't make any sense to me. Not even the slightest bit of sense.
Just making this shit up. That's their job. That's how they make it.
Well, they don't understand the technology to begin with. That's the problem.
Oh, yeah,
is
but that automatically makes it demon technology at that point.
Right, exactly.
Those demon technology. So, do these people ever come to the real world at all?
I doubt it. I really doubt it. I mean, it's sort of like with the vigilant Christian. Anything popular is satanic, therefore bad. I.e., I can't come up with a good argument, so I'm going to say it's demonic and move on.
Well, and part of these Christians' mentality is their inability to go, hey, here's something I don't understand. There must be a scientific base for it. And instead go, hey, here's something I don't understand. It must be supernatural. And since they don't understand technology, it's...
Wow, to live in a world of supernatural.
Hey, man.
Yeah, I know. It must be a dream, huh?
It's unlimited paranoia.
Yeah, to a person who doesn't understand what supernatural is, yeah, it's basically paranoia.
Well,
Yeah, that
we
makes
go
sense.
there.
Let's not be unfair.
You're a skeptic. What's to go there for? You don't know anything.
Man,
Come
what's
on.
up, man? What's up, man? How you doing?
What's up, Wolf? You repented yet? No.
No, I love titties too much, especially when they're
Yeah, you're a pervert. You need to get right with God.
Oh, come on, man. So you're saying if you weren't in front of a chick without her top off, you wouldn't want to take a picture with
I
her?
would tell her she's a whore and that she needs to put some clothes on.
Wow, dude, way to front. That's
No, that's not a way to front. That's the way I am.
Sure, the gay community be very happy to hear that.
Oh, yeah, they're going to be very happy to hear that. It's not like I don't speak to them either.
Yeah. Okay, so what do you think of Pokemon Go?
Of course it is.
How so?
The origins of it has always been satanic. If you actually look up what Pokemon means, it means two words in Japanese. It means pocket monster. Well, the other word for the monster part that they put in there is pocket demon. That's what it is. So, if you actually look it up, pertaining to what Pokemon is, they took a bunch of, animals, demonic, based upon their demonic imagination, and they put a lot of, satanic mess into it. That's what it's about.
So basically, they took a bunch of like thoughts about animals, basically from nature. They endowed them with like elemental abilities, like ability or extreme strength or whatever, and and now they have like they bond with humans and basically fight and compete in some game, and that's satanic because why?
No, that's not why it's satanic. It's satanic because of the origin and what it's based on. That's why.
Animals?
No, it's not based upon animals. You're not listening.
Based on what? The cartoon, dude.
It's based upon witchcraft, dude. Just like Yu-Gi-Oh! Is based upon witchcraft. Just like Dungeons and Dragons, based upon witchcraft. Do you catch come on, do you not see the pattern here, or do I have to spell it out for you?
But it's not based upon witchcraft. Everything
Yes,
in
it
the
is.
Pokemon universe is technological. They catch
No,
them
it's
with
not.
Pokeball, which is a technological device.
You don't.
Yes,
Okay,
it is.
I
played the games, man.
Yeah, but you don't. Dude, you playing a game and studying the history of that game is two different things, genius. Second of all, you're talking about something whose origins is literally telling you it's a pocket demon in the actual word that it's translated from.
Monster. Monster is not the same as demon.
Okay, talk to hold on. Talk to a Japanese person. You tell them what's the definition of a monster in your language, and they'll tell you exactly what it means. Because one of the definitions is a demon. That's what it is.
Yeah. Okay. The thing here is, it doesn't matter how one perceives it. It's just a cartoon. And in other cases, like just for entertainment.
That background noise has got to stop, man. We can't hear anything.
Yeah, this is really pathetic.
I mean, dude, are you literally doing that just to drown me out? Like, are you serious?
Who, me?
Yeah, like what is that?
I didn't know I had background noise. Sorry.
Oh. Okay, but anyway, like all I'm saying is that it's just the way it's perceived, at least for people now. I mean, it's entertainment, you know, for laughs or amusement. I mean, that's the only reason why it's so popular right now, because people like it. I mean,
What's your point?
that's the case in the free open marketplace of ideas.
You don't get it, Wolf. Well, I mean, you are a Satanist to a good degree, but you know, you don't. I mean, unlike I would say a real Satanist. You know what? No, that'll be an understatement.
I mean, you just make your point, man. Come on.
Well, I'm trying to get there because you're basically you're a blind Satanist. I'll put it that way. You worship Satan yourself, and you know you see it as a joke. You see it as funny, and there are other Satanists like you who take it seriously. When they say that they worship Satan, they do, and how they do it is basically utilizing the entertainment that you think is for laughs and kicks and the hee-hees and ha-has, and they literally use it to give you entertainment like you want, but it's also to enslave your mind and to enslave your soul. And they do that on a regular basis. That's what witchcraft is, except on a kiddie-like scale, but it's damaging your mind.
Okay, so basically we have a no true Scotsman mixed in with a conspiracy.
It's not a no true Scotsman. What's the no true Scotsman here?
The no true Scotsman is basically saying that there are qualities that, okay, basically, and because you have a person that necessarily disagrees from a certain school of thought that they're not really the thing. It's like basically a no true Scotsman wouldn't do that or something like that. So I mean, you're sort of applying.
Where are you getting that from? Where are you getting that from?
It's a logical fallacy.
No, where are you getting that from what I just said?
Oh, you're saying like I'm not a true Satanist or whatever, and
no. I'm saying that you worship Satan. You are a Satanist in that regard. You do worship him, but people who also worship him, they do it to where it's a god to them, to where they know who they serve. They know who they serve, and they serve him. Okay? They practice. It's more than just practicing witchcraft. Their very actions, they know who they serve, and that's what they do. Now, you are a Satanist in the regard that you do worship Satan in the very lifestyle that you live. But at the same time, you're not doing what you're living that lifestyle, but you're not doing in the actions that you at least think.
Well, I mean, if you want my view, I mean, I like the character as depicted you could.
No, I know your view.
Yeah, like well with the Paradise Lost thing, basically, like seeing Satan as a eternal rebel, you know, challenging authority, all that, you know, granting knowledge to humanity.
Yeah,
and that's stuff that I like. But when you're talking about this, this mysterious Illuminati group of Satanists that want to use entertainment to like control the masses and everything. I mean, it just doesn't. It really doesn't ring true. I mean, when we have easier explanations.
What?
Like, let me ask you a question. What is the foundation of our economy, basically?
You talking about the United States?
Yeah.
What do you mean? What's the in what way?
What is the foundation of our economy? Capitalism.
I couldn't tell you.
It's fine. The answer is supply and demand. Basically, if we want something, it's going to be in high demand. We're going to pay top dollar. In this case, it's Pokemon Go, which has statistically, based on just the studies that my friend got to make for me, it's ranging more than Facebook and also more than porn. So I mean, that pretty much goes with it. It's that entertaining. It's that fun. It's basically more people like this, therefore it's popular. You know, that's like the foundation of our entire economy. That's not
There's
satanic,
something.
not evil. That's just human nature.
Okay, let me ask you this, and that's kind of ridiculous in this regard. Just because something is popular, does that make it good?
I mean, of course, it doesn't necessarily make it good, but doesn't make it
That's
like a hopeful either.
right. That's my point though. So just because something is popular does not make it good for you. I mean, that's kind of ridiculous to even point that out. That okay, since we're living in a capitalist system, that the supply and demand mentality means that, oh yeah, we're going to supply basically what you want, that we control what you want, and
Well, sure. I mean,
therefore,
that's a job for entrepreneurs to do, but that wasn't.
right.
But see, this wasn't necessarily the point that you were arguing. It was that it was controlled by like some satanic Illuminati thing, and I'm
No,
saying
I didn't put
that was my
Illuminati into this. I could, but it wouldn't make a difference. It's the person who they worship is Satan. So I'm speaking to the actual demonic entity here.
well, who's they? Because I'm citing like the free market and entrepreneurs and shit, enterprise.
Well, let's try this. You know who our president is right now, right?
Yeah, President Obama. What's up?
Right. Um, how did he become a president?
Mm. Being the lesser of evils, basically.
Yeah. Let me ask you. Do you know what a Freemason is?
A Freemason. Yeah, it's being in that specific Skull and Bones Club, the Freemasons. Let me just.
Well, that's a how do you say it? That's a
Let me get the accurate definition just so I don't strawman them. Okay, yeah, Freemasonry or Masonry consists of fraternal organizations that trace
Mhm.
their origins to the local fraternities of stonemasons, which
Yep.
in the 14th century regulated the qualifications of stonemasons. Yeah.
Mhm. So
Yeah.
yeah, you really don't. So you really don't know what they are.
It's a fraternal organization.
Yeah, I just said it's a fraternal organization.
Well, no, that's what they tell you that it is. What it is a secret society full of witchcraft, demonic symbolism, and ultimately worshippers of Satan. That's what they are.
Hmm. So you're going. I
Yeah.
mean, it sounds like you're going more down the route of like I mean, what else do you have for this like conspiracy and how this is and how does it correlate to
Well,
like?
because if you look at the people that you're talking about in this capitalist system that give you your quote unquote supply and demand mentality, you would notice that a lot of them are Masons or a part of a secret society to where they're part of the Bilderberg group, um, the Knights Templar, the Freemasons, there's quite a others, the Roman Catholic system, the Roman Catholic cult, which is the head of all these secret societies, which runs all of them, the Jesuits. Yeah.
The
So
Freemasons are not a secret society. You know you can go join, right? You just have to ask a member about it, and they'll bring you right in.
no, you can't. No, you have specific parameters on which you can join. One, you have to be a believer in a higher power of some kind. You can't be an atheist.
Actually, there
So
are some cases where you can be an atheist or a pantheist. They actually have
yeah,
some.
a pantheist, maybe, yeah. An atheist, no. But
I'm just
anyway,
saying,
other
I
than
know a
that,
Freemason. I could if
oh
I
really?
believed in God, I know a Freemason, and he's asked me if I wanted to join, and I've told him no, because I just didn't
Okay,
want to be part of the organization.
so let me ask you, what level Mason was he?
I don't remember. I didn't ask him too much about it. I didn't really care.
Yeah, he doesn't know anything, and I could probably tell, and you don't know anything about Masons either from what you just expressed to me. Is the fact that you just said what you just said. It shows that you don't know what they really
I
are.
love how you just easily knock off his anecdotal evidence, but you're citing one too that you don't really have any evidence for.
No, 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 no. I'm not citing anecdotal evidence. I'm citing the history of Freemasonry as I know it, as I've
And you
researched
were
it. I've
and, and
researched this. I've
and you were
researched
a member for a lot
Freemasonry.
of time, right? And you got out of it or something. That's how you know.
No, I studied it.
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
thoroughly studied it. That's how that's how I know so much about it,
Fair
because
enough. Fair enough. You read up on it. What was your sources?
what was my sources?
Yeah.
Let's see. I got a book. Let me see. I got one book.
Okay.
Let me see if I can find it here.
You remember the title?
The history of Freemasonry.
Okay, History of Freemasonry. By whom?
I wouldn't remember the author. And another person you could look at is Bill Schnoblin. He was a Freemason as well as a high level ranked witch, or at least he was.
What?
Witch.
Wait, Mac.
What?
I got a question. Hey, how you doing, Mac? Mac, you believe in the devil, right?
Satanic.
Hello.
Okay. I hold down the water.
Mac.
What you go to the nail shop for? Ain't nothing wrong with your hands.
Are you there, Mac, still?
Ain't nothing wrong with your nails. Part of your hands. Fingers. Toes. Okay, I was talking. Sorry. What?
Okay, Mac,
Mm-hmm.
you believe in the devil, right?
Yep.
Okay, how do you know that you're really not controlled by the devil and he's brainwashed you that you've forgotten?
He's brainwashed me and I've forgotten.
Right, but you're really under the devil's control.
Well, because I can speak on it, because I used to be under his control. And now I found what the light was. I found the truth.
Okay, you can test yourself that you're still not under demonic possession.
Yes, I could.
Well,
How?
he is. He doesn't like negativity, so that's one.
Yeah.
How do
Anyways.
you know that you're not under demonic influence?
Okay. Okay. The easiest way I can tell you is by reading the Word of God. That's how you know.
The devil could do the same thing, Mac.
No, he couldn't.
Yeah, he can. The devil can
No,
pop
he
out.
can't.
Dude, the devil popped out scripture when he was in the 40 days in the wilderness.
Yeah. What was the difference between how he did it and how Jesus Christ refuted him on it?
Yeah, but still, he could cough out scripture anytime he wants.
No, he could, but he doesn't live it. That's the point, and he teaches you not to live it. That's the whole point. Whenever you look at
Are you living like Jesus?
Am I living like him?
Yeah.
I'm obeying him. Yes.
Well, you said you have to live scripture, right? You have to walk around in a cloth and give away all your possessions.
That's not what that means, dude.
Lower class, right? You gotta be Christ-like.
No, that's not what that means. It's not ministering to the lower class. That's ridiculous.
That's not what Christianity's about.
I don't even know what you're talking about, because it's not Christianity. You just said I have the minister.
You claim that there's demonic influence, right?
I don't think you're
not demonically under influence.
I feel like you're speaking out of ignorance, because
Don't whine, Mac. Okay, Mac, you claim that there's demonic influence, right? Prove it.
Prove it.
Okay. Yeah. You know what? That's actually a good segue. Mac, you found that source yet, or what's the status with that?
What, you asked me the book and I told you.
Oh, okay. I was just wondering what was that noise was. I thought you were looking for the book. I don't know.
No, I was looking for my book. Because I kind of just moved and I kind of misplaced it. But it's not. Well, it's not just that book, because other sources was the internet and a bunch of just sources on that that I can't even think on the top of my head. Just look up Freemasonry and the history behind it.
You ever look up Alex Jones on this?
Say what?
You ever look up Alex Jones on this stuff?
Alex Jones?
Yeah.
No, not like that. No. Now, He probably has good sources. I don't really know him because I don't really look at some of his stuff. But a lot of the stuff that he does say is true, though.
Mm.
For instance, when I think it was it's not the Bilderberg group, because he was at what's that place? That wooden area, that something grove area, where it was a bunch of politicians and you know, high places in government type people that were there worshiping a giant statue of an owl and supposedly sacrificing. Now, I didn't get to see that, but that's what he reported. And what's funny is that the reaction that he did when he was, you know, interviewing some of these governors and people that he saw, including George Bush. He didn't get a chance to interview him.
I think that was yeah, like that exclusive male only private club in San Francisco, in Grove.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's just like that's just like a basic ritual. I mean, like, what was it, the cremation of care? Like
It's not a basic ritual.
Yeah, I mean, it's to symbolize the participants burn away their worries for the next few weeks. They have vast like responsibilities. You know, partying up for 3 weeks without anyone watching, and the owl symbolize knowledge. So you know,
no ritual. No ritual that's ever performed on any person, whether it be the person who's doing it or the person that they're doing it upon, is ever basic. There's always a cost to something.
Well, you said, like, okay, you're speculating that there was sacrifice, but you didn't see any sacrifices.
No, that's what he reported. He had a camera, he showed it, but you couldn't see anything of what they were fully doing at the camera. I mean, on what he was showing. Like, he's got video on this to where he was showing all of these people performing this.
Okay, Mac, if this is true, these guys gain satanic power by sacrificing?
Yes and no.
Yes and no. Which is it?
Well, it's yes and no, because the power that they supposedly have is never there. But what they do receive is a so-called contract, basically in blood, literally, to where they give themselves fully to the demonic entity that possesses them. So if you ever talk to a witch or let me put it like this. If you ever talk to a high-ranking witch, or the male version is a warlock, if you ever talk to a high-ranking person like that and ask them to put a hex or a demonic curse, would you ever put a demonic curse upon a politician? They won't do it because they know that the demonic entity in them is stronger than they are. They're afraid of them.
That reminds me, I have to change this hangout to sell your soul.
Yeah.
Okay.
And by the way, Mac.
No. It's actually, there's actually a metaphor in that. By sell your soul, I mean dedicate your mind to that which is evidently true. And
yeah.
But Mac, you can gain satanic power, right?
Say what?
All right, Mac, you can gain satanic power if you sacrifice shit to Satan. Right?
No, you lose your soul. You don't gain any. See, this is the thing. You're not gaining any real power. You're gaining an illusion to where you think you have power.
Okay. So when you sell your soul to Jesus, do you gain power?
Well, I'm not selling my soul, but yeah, I do gain power.
Okay, so one's real and one's not, right?
Right.
Okay, prove it.
What do you mean, prove it?
You sold your soul to Jesus, so demand something.
Never mind that. Didn't the God of the Old Testament like need the smell of blood to be reconciled?
Huh?
Like he needed he needed blood sacrifices, like sacrificing animals and stuff like that, and even sometimes humans if they've transgressed against like the Israelite law and stuff like that. I mean, wasn't that a thing in the Old Testament?
Yeah, but that wasn't to gain power. That was because it was for the remission of sins, and that was a foreshadow of Jesus Christ and what he did on the cross.
Yeah, but more to the point. I mean, at least with regard to the Old Testament, that was basically to please that God Yahweh, right?
No, no. It was
So
it was out of obedience
why did he demand it then?
because again, it was a foreshadow of Christ for the remission of their sins.
So they have to be okay. So basically, it's a sacrifice. Okay, God demanded sacrifice for. So he came to earth, sacrificed himself to himself, and now humans they could be with this God now. They can be reconciled. Rather- I'm just saying, like it sounds like okay. You're making a point that because there was this supposed sacrifice that occurred, right? That's a bad thing. But you look in your own book and you hear sacrifices all the time done in the name of this God.
No, see, anytime a person is doing a demonic ritual or a sacrifice unto something, again, there is always a cost. Demonic entities, every time you do a sacrifice unto them, they demand more out of you until it becomes a well, how do you, let's put it like this. Let's imagine you have a unquenchable leech and the leech needs to feed, so it latches upon you, but you're not smart enough to take it off of you, and it's gonna. And no matter how much you try, no matter how healthy you are, how good in shape you are, that leech is going to drain you dry, no matter how well fit you are, and it's gonna keep eating more and more and more, and it's never gonna run out. The difference between that and Jesus Christ is that he's demanding only out of you the obedience and love and fear from him. But at the same time, he's telling you that you can't please me. I can't take anything from you because I already own everything. Not to mention, you're not able to please me the way you are because you've basically been you failed to live up to what I created you to be. So therefore I have set an ultimate sacrifice to where it can please me, to where I don't see you and what you have done, but I see my son in you.
Okay, Mac, all that's theology, okay? You haven't
No,
proven,
all that's Bible.
well, yes, you haven't
No,
proven what power you've gained
Not same thing.
selling your soul to Jesus. Prove
Well-
the power you've gotten from selling your soul to Jesus.
Well, I would say again, it's not selling my soul to Jesus. He owns my soul, regardless. I'm not selling him I'm not selling him anything.
Okay,
Now,
okay, but going back to the thing, okay, how do you? Okay, I think a better question is going back to that whole sacrifice. How do you infer like there was a sacrifice at that thing in Bohemian Grove where Alex Jones was videotaped? And if it was true, how would you be able to know that someone has like supernatural demonic powers or whatever?
well, you as a person who does not believe in the supernatural, who thinks it's like something off of Disney World, cannot know. I can because I believe in the supernatural already, and I've already experienced the supernatural in various ways. So I know that it exists. I can believe in things like that.
Well, I'm skeptical. I mean, here's the thing. I'm skeptical about the same thing. But at the same time, I'm not saying I know that it doesn't exist. I mean, I think that didn't James Randi have that $1 million prize out for anyone who could prove like a supernatural experience or something paranormal occurring?
Oh yeah,
They
it's like
did.
$1 million. Oh,
Yeah.
did he hand it out to anyone? No,
Oh.
it's never been handed out. They've tried and they've tried, but nobody.
Yeah. I mean,
Person to be able to
it's
prove
not
it.
that it's not that scientists or skeptics are beyond being like trying to experience supernatural things. Just that if there's no way to falsify or test or measure it, then it's kind of hard to even examine the evidence.
Yeah, but look at what you're appealing to. You're appealing to instruments that are based upon natural causes. You're not appealing to a supernatural one, which is you yourself. You're the only. No matter how much.
Reliable method that we have in this world, though.
No, it's not the only method that you have. It's the only one that you're appealing to because it's the only one that you rely on.
I didn't say only. I said the most reliable.
Yeah, but that's the only one you just want to rely on. It's not the only reliable.
No, I got others. I got my reason and my sensory experience.
Right, but your reason and censoring, abilities are limited because of what you believe. If you don't believe that the supernatural exists, and you're always skeptical, and even when the answers are in front of you, that there's no way someone can fake this, there's no way that someone can actually repeat this over and over again to where that's actually a natural thing that occurred, you would still fall back in your sense and reasoning, saying that, okay, I'm still skeptical. I don't think that this happened. That's what you fall back on.
Dude, okay, you're saying that in order to know this, we couldn't know the supernatural in no way if it's just beyond our human comprehension.
No, it's not beyond your human comprehension. It's based upon your decision making. If you want to believe in the supernatural, you can easily do that. A witch can't believe in the supernatural. A Satanist can believe in the supernatural, and they're not Christians. They're not like us.
If there's no evidence, then that's special pleading, right? What you did right there.
That's not special pleading. Again, you're talking to a Christian. If a Satanist or a witch or a Freemason came in here, they can tell you that the supernatural exists. Well, no, let me rephrase that pertaining to the. Let me rephrase that from the Freemason. A high level Freemason, someone that has 30 to the 33rd degree.
Does such an animal still exist?
Yeah, if anyone else wants to reply, they can.
So you think you can choose your beliefs?
Yeah. People do that every day.
No, people become convinced of things. They don't just I can't just be like.
Yeah, but you're choosing what to believe.
Now.
No, you are. For instance, a person can grow up as a little child and believe that Santa Claus is real. When they get old, they no longer believe that Santa Claus is real. What did they do? They chose.
No, they were convinced that he was not real because people told
Yes,
him.
they were convinced that belief was not true. That's my point.
Wait, didn't that belief start because his parents told him that anyway?
Mm-hmm. Yes. Exactly.
Okay, but that's environment.
That's not. No, it doesn't necessarily have to be placed in environment. It doesn't necessarily have to be placed because of environment.
I mean, the parents are part of the environment, so I mean, if they influence him to believe that, then he's not choosing to believe in Santa. He's choosing to trust.
No, but that would be true in that statement if all children were like that. You can tell a child that Santa Claus is real, and they not necessarily believe it at all. So
most of the time, children will believe whatever their parents.
Right, but since you're talking about.
Because that's all the evidence that they need.
Yeah, but you're not talking about the rule here.
The rule.
You're not saying that, okay, I can tell my child something and he'll believe it, therefore that makes it true that anytime I tell my child something, he'll believe it.
You're part of the child's environment.
Yes, no, you're part of their influence as well as their environment. Yes, you're part of their influence. But that doesn't mean that the influence that you put upon them will always click to where they will believe the influence that you put upon them.
Right, but so once I told my children that Santa Claus was not real, now they're convinced that he's not real. They're not gonna they can't just choose to believe in him anyway, even though they're convinced that he's not real.
Well, I can teach a child, to believe in Jesus Christ and to read His Word and to do all these, show them all these things to where, a child can believe that. But at the same time, when they grow up, that same child that believed that Jesus Christ was real and was in the faith at one point in time can also say, I don't believe in Jesus Christ anymore because they fall back into their sin. That's the same exact thing.
That's not a choice, though. They're convinced, or they're...
No, that is a choice.
You tell him, man.
I'm really certain that you don't understand what you're talking about, Mac.
Well, you're not disputing what I'm saying here.
I mean,
because all you're saying is that they're convinced of something, but that still is based upon a belief that they were convinced of.
Here, let me ask you this. Could you choose right now to not believe in Jesus Christ?
Yes, I could.
You could do that. Could
Yes,
you
I
choose
could.
right now to believe in the flying spaghetti monster with no evidence? I'm just going to change my beliefs.
With no evidence, I'm just going to change my beliefs.
Could you do that?
I can be influenced to believe in something.
No, not influence. No, I'm saying you. That's the difference. Being influenced and making a choice are two different things. If you're convinced of something, that's an external force against you.
No, they go together. You make choices based upon the influences around you.
No, that's determinism.
No, that's not determinism. Determinism says that you have no choice.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. If you're influenced by something like your environment or your genetics, you're not making a choice. You're determined by factors that kind of came before you.
No, but those factors are not the rule. Just like, for instance, if a child is born into a world of Hinduism, does that necessarily mean that that every single child that's born into that type of religious system is always going to be a Hindu? No.
In India, they're probably going to be like Hindu. That's just like
yeah, they're probably going to be Hindu. That is correct, but that doesn't mean they always will.
Sure, it's just more likely.
Right, but that's my point, though. A child can be brought up to believe that Hinduism is the right religion, and a Christian can come along and says, "No, Jesus Christ is the truth, the way, and the life. No man comes to the Father but by Him." Yeah, that can be addressed to a child or even to a grown man, and they'll believe that.
Okay. So could you answer Elephant's question? Like, what was Elephant?
So I'm going to dumb it down even further. I'm holding
necessary.
It is, I think. I'm holding a pencil in my hand. Okay, I can feel it. I can feel its weight. I know it's here. Could I choose to believe that it's not here?
Yeah, you could.
See, I don't think you understand what.
I do. Because that's why solipsism exists, because of stupid stuff like that.
I'm not a solipsist, though.
You're an atheist, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so let me get this straight. How do you account for intelligibility in your worldview to where you can account for the things that you feel, taste, touch, hear, and smell?
So you can't understand the belief thing, so we're going to go on to something else now?
No, this goes into your beliefs. You as an atheist cannot account for the things that you are saying that you're utilizing.
Now you're gonna go into precept, really?
Yep.
I don't need I don't need to.
Expectation.
I don't need to, because all I can say is the reason why he's able to say that pen is real, that pencil or whatever is real in his hand and he can feel its weight, is because God exists. That's it.
No.
Wow.
No.
That's
Not at
the
all.
biggest God I've ever seen.
Can we leap any further?
I mean, he's not answering the question, so I don't know what the problem is. Maybe I need to dumb it down even further for you.
You're not understanding the concept of not being able to choose your beliefs. You're either convinced of something or you're not. That's external forces acting upon you to make up your mind. You don't just, like, if I convince you that something exists, you can't choose to just not believe it if you're convinced. There's an action there that somebody else or some other
all right, belief
is putting on you.
Belief, an acceptance that a statement is true or that something exists. Trust,
Right.
faith, or confidence in someone or something.
Uh-huh.
So how is it not possible for a person to choose whether a statement is true or that something exists? How is it not possible for them to choose that?
They're either convinced of it or they're not. If
Yeah,
I tell
but
you
is that
something, you're
them
either
choosing it?
convinced of it. You're either convinced of it or not, based
Are they
upon the
choosing
evidence
that?
given. No.
Yeah, are they choosing that?
No.
Really?
Really?
So wait. So if you poured, do you have children?
I do.
Okay.
I said
So
that.
if you poured a bowl of milk, if you poured in a bowl milk and some cereal and gave it to your children, and you told them, "Hey, children, this is make-believe, this thing doesn't exist, and that what you're eating is not real. A child, one, is not going to ask you for evidence. Not that I know of. No 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7-year-old is not going to ask you for evidence of that.
I don't think any 5, 6, 7-year-old would believe me if I told them that. Because
hold on, because at the same time, we get them to believe in Santa Claus, which we know that is not real. So what makes you think that they,
in the same way we get children to believe in God, even though He's not real?
No, you have no proof of that, sir. And I just showed you how you don't. And you being an atheist, I don't see how you can account for that, considering you can't even prove that yourself is real.
Yeah, we're not going to go down that.
Yeah, but he's trying to.
No, I'm not. I'm trying to find your beliefs, and you don't understand it.
Well,
really?
To be fair, you brought it up, but we're gonna focus on the whole belief thing here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, just like I brought up with the whole parents like telling kids X and they're being more likely to believe X than not. That's being having an external influence. That's external to them. That's not internal. Their parents don't come from them. They come from their parents. Okay, the same thing with their genes. The genes influence some aspects of their behavior as well. These are external factors that precede. Okay, so things like beliefs are most likely going to come from like your parents, or like the region of the place you were born in, or the entire geography in general. But those are external things that do have an impact on how you believe stuff. All right.
Right. They have an influence. Yes.
So you agree with that?
They have an influence on them. Yes, I don't disagree with that.
Okay, so basically, I'm not even saying that they can't choose. I do believe there's some aspect of choice, but that's still determined by the rest of the things in nature. I mean,
I agree to some extent that is, because a person can say I want to have wings on my back, and they can believe that they can have wings on their back till the cows come home. They'll never have wings on their back, because the way God created you is not in the way that you want to choose to be created.
Okay, I have no idea where that came from, but moving on.
And it's
Okay. Christian kids should not be postmodern. By Richard.
Postmodern thought, where the individual can interpret truth, art, philosophy, virtually anything for him.
Hey, Frank Turek.
This worldview.
I don't think this is Frank Turek.
Maintained by those who are.
Actually, let me just cut it off here.
That is Frank Turek. No, that's Wretched. I don't know why I said Frank Turek. That's. Wait, isn't his name Frank Turek? What's his name?
No, it's Wretched. You got it right the second time. Okay, so you see him? Yeah, sort of like evil Bill Nye.
It has also crept its way and affected the thinking of young people who call themselves Christians. All right, Ryan, here's what we're going to do. I've got a bunch of subjects on these cards. Okay. You're going to pick.
Yeah, I'm gonna indoctrinate you with some bullshit there, Sonny boy, so get ready for it.
One of them.
You guys need to repent.
If you don't like it, you say, I don't like it, and we'll put it away and we'll pick another card. All right. Fire away. This is very close to gambling. All righty. Faith is the subject. Okay? Faith. What is faith?
I'd say faith is believing in something you can't see, and something non-tangible, and believe. Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna have faith in something I can't see.
I think it's easier for most people to have faith in something you can't see.
All right.
So it's basically pulling the Ray Comfort thing. It's just gonna ask random college kids like just whatever to try and get a reaction. Skeptic, what do you think?
What do I think? I don't want to think at this moment. I think it's going to hurt too much. In all reality, that's exactly what he's doing, pulling the Ray Comfort.
It's not Ray Comfort.
Oh
Yeah, he
no,
does.
who is it then?
He used to visit like college campuses all
I
the
don't
time.
see I don't see how you ask a person what the definition of something is and what they think it means is a ray comfort, because ray comfort, what he does is pertaining to the salvation of God and why you need him. When he asks you the sins that you have committed, that's totally different from what he's doing. So yeah, he's not pulling a ray comfort, in case you didn't know.
I don't know, man. Seems like
That's only one aspect of Ray Comfort's methods.
Yeah, but you don't. Apparently, you don't realize that that's not even a ray comfort method. That's just totally stupid.
All right. Yeah, let's be fair. We don't know what his snake oil move is. Let's check it out.
Yeah. Wow.
Yes. I think it can be in some circumstances it is wrong.
So some people's faiths are just plain wrong.
I think faith is a different term than faith. You can have faith in something, but a faith would be a different connotation of the word.
So do you believe in something? Are you a faith man?
Yes, I would say so.
What do you believe?
God.
Okay.
Christianity.
And who's your Christian?
Yes.
So would you then say the faith of the Buddhist is wrong?
Right.
Sorry, can you turn that up?
I personally would not.
What's up?
I said, can you turn it up? Turn the sound up? I missed that statement. That would sound like a very interesting...
Yeah, he was asking him, is the faith of the Buddhist wrong? And he's kind of doing his derp face now. Look.
Would you say that the faith of a Muslim is wrong?
No.
How come?
Because again, I think faith, the term for faiths is represents like a religion, and everybody has their own religion. And depending on the context of where they come from, determines sort of how they believe. And I know it's
even the kid got right in this one. Damn, Mac.
I don't even get what you just said. What?
I mean, okay, he basically said, okay, he asked him, is like the view of like Buddhists or Muslims wrong or something like that, and he said, no, because it's faith, you know, it's faith. It's not evidence based or anything like that, and like where you come from and all that determines what you believe. So
no, I don't think you get it from what the question was asked to him. He asked him, is the faith of a Buddhist wrong?
Yeah, he said that.
Yeah, he's wrong for saying that.
Okay, let's hear more.
Okay.
the same people have, or the establishment has. Most establishments say that there's one faith, one belief. Okay, that's how I feel.
All right, let me tell you what my faith is,
All right.
and then you're going to tell me if you think I'm wrong. All right? My faith is that if, right before I die, I say Hershey's Kisses 16 times, I'm going to spend eternity in Pennsylvania at the Hershey Chocolate Factory, indulging in chocolate to my heart's content without ever feeling sick to my stomach forever. Is my faith wrong? Why not?
Yeah, I would say it is, because it's just as bullshit as thinking that you're gonna be in the law land with a sky wizard that loves you and cares for you and wants your eternal allegiance forever.
Oh man.
Alvin, what you think of this? You still away?
Yeah, I'm still here. He's just random people that aren't prepared to answer these kind of questions aren't going to have well thought out answers if they're not in that mindset to, answer the questions.
Well,
I think if he was given time to think on it, then he would come up with some different answers.
No, that's a poor assessment because of who the person is that he's talking to. And that's why you're not understanding why he's asking the questions that he's asking him, specifically to him. Because the way that question is responded to him is talking about a person that believes, well, supposedly, believes in what I believe. And what he's not doing, the person who's claiming to be a Christian, is he's not living by what the faith says and what the faith means. because you cannot have that belief. You cannot have faith in something like that.
I mean,
It's wrong.
Well, to be fair, I mean, he is still a college, he is still a college student. He's figuring stuff out. So, I mean, for all we know, he probably might not actually be a Christian. He could be like something else. He's figuring it out. So,
Oh, I definitely hold that he's probably not a Christian.
Hold on.
And that's the no true Scotsman fallacy right there.
It's not a no true Scotsman fallacy, dude.
Yeah. Anyway, so I mean, it's sort of being like what expressed with this with the talk with this wretched guy here. So I mean, I'm not really surprised if he might have a different train of thought like later down the line. But yeah, that's the point. Okay. Let's play a little more.
Because I would have to understand the context and your background and why you believe that before I would make judgments on whether it's wrong.
I've got a sweet tooth, and I've lived in America my whole life. Is my faith wrong?
I'm not going to call anybody's faith wrong.
Why not?
I don't feel educated enough or knowledgeable enough or wise enough to say.
I think this kid might be infected by the SJW movement.
See, I hate when people like that use they use the word wrong, and wrong has a lot of context
that you don't
depending
understand
on what you're talking about.
I
understand what wrong means, but really? Wrong in certain ways of saying it means different things.
Okay,
wrong
so how
could mean incorrect, or it could be bad, or it could be, there's different things that you mean. So
no, yeah, it can be all three and above. Error, wrong, bad, not good. I mean, take your pick. It's basically the opposite of what is right. So look at all the synonyms for what right means, and look at all the synonyms of what wrong means. It's the opposite of what is right.
Yeah, but you're just asserting that, though.
No, I'm not asserting that. That's the standard that's being set. I'm not asserting any of that. It's a set standard. That's what the Bible talks about. That's why you can't pull no true Scotsman. That's why you can't say that he's not probably using the proper term of what wrong means.
He said he was a Christian, but I think that he's just it seems like he's kind of got that college influence to where he doesn't want to like criticize any other view, like because that might be seen as like disrespectful or bigoted or something. I mean, I wouldn't go that far or agree with that, but at the same time, I mean, I doubt that would necessarily disqualify him from being a Christian. That's all I'm saying.
It does, because what the Bible calls them is a lukewarm Christian, where God is disgusted by you because you're not being consistent with your position. You're either hot like a Christian or you're cold, a non-believer. If you're trying to be lukewarm, God says you're disgusting to Him.
What verse does it say that?
Revelations 3:16.
So during the tribulation then.
Say what?
So during the tribulation then.
What do you mean during the tribulation? What are you talking about?
That's when that verse takes place.
No, it's not. Yeah, you can continue the video, Wolf, if you want to.
And when I said no true Scotsman, that's the fallacy that you were using. You're saying he's not a Christian because he doesn't believe what I believe. No true Christian would act like that.
No. No true Scotsman means that basically a person is utilizing what a true Scotsman is without a standard. I have a standard, which is the Word of God, which is what I hold. That's what establishes what a Christian is, what isn't.
The way you interpret it.
No, it's not the way I interpret it. It's what is already shown. You can read that in plain English. Just like how you can read Revelation 3:16 in plain English and say what it says, and it means what it says. You're the one who has a false interpretation because you're not right with God and you're not born again. So no, it's not based upon my interpretation.
I think what we could agree on with this video is that this wretched guy is using a ray comfort trying to ask college students these questions, and it's really just to ooze some sort of a moral superiority when in reality it's just Bible thumping on college students.
Why do you? Well, why do you care? I'm speaking directly to you, Wolf. Why do you care?
I care because I do care about how people believe and how that impacts society, and that's why I give analysis on stuff like this.
Yeah, but you're being self-contradictory with that. Because if you
how's that self-contradictory?
Because when you say when you care, and the person that you say you care about their beliefs says that I don't care about your beliefs because your beliefs is wrong, then and you have no reason to criticize them, then if you are consistent with that, then you shouldn't care about how he's treating these college students with the way he's asking them questions and pulling away comfort if he's doing that. You can't criticize him because you have to respect on what he believes.
Well, sure, yeah. I mean, there's that Constitution. I respect his freedom of religion. I believe in freedom from it as well.
No, but that's not what you said.
And the thing is, beyond that, I mean, if a person wants to espouse their belief in something in terms of free speech in their own home, in their own church, or whatever, I mean, that's fine. I'm for that. You know, that's the thing. It's how it's impacted in society that I care about. You know, things that impact separation of church and state.
Doesn't matter.
Everything like that. I can still criticize and make points on that. There's nothing wrong with that.
And you could, I mean,
that's just free thought.
Yeah, you can make an opinion on that, but you can't really. I mean, that's all you can say. All you can say is I don't like what you did, and that's it. I mean, you can't really just. I mean, I don't even think you can criticize the guy. Period, because, like you said, you respect all people's beliefs.
Well, I express the right to believe. I don't respect the belief. I can still criticize that and make point of that.
Okay, so let me get this straight.
Like, for example, I'm not gonna ban that person just because he's doing that. I'm gonna criticize what he's doing. I'm doing that now. I am on the internet making a point about it in this hangout.
Yeah, but why? But that's my point. Okay, you're criticizing it, but why? Like
because I care about how people believe and how it impacts society.
Okay, but you're showing how you don't.
I think what he's doing is superfluous, and I'm making a point about that.
Okay, you said, okay, I care about people's beliefs and how it impacts society.
Yes.
If you cared about this person and how he impacts society, his belief says that he's doing the right thing. So how can you criticize something that you don't understand whether it's right or wrong?
Well, I have to look at the evidence to see if it's right.
Okay, and now, what are you going to use to base that evidence on, considering that this is talking about a person's beliefs?
The empirical data and the rationale for it.
Okay, let me give you a bit of the empirical data and rationale on it. This person's beliefs and what he's doing is saying that Jesus Christ died on the cross for the remission of your sins because you sinned against God and you deserve hell. You deserve an eternal torment for the sins that you committed against God. But God does not want that for you and wants you to repent and obey Jesus Christ and believe in the gospel. Because of that, and because people believed in that, lives were being changed all throughout the world and all throughout the gospel to the point where people not only were being saved, but they were also dying for the faith that they were holding on to where it got to the point to where this was causing a lot of good, but but at the same time a lot of negative to those who don't like it, because that would mean that your lifestyle and as well as the other people's lifestyle that these people were going against, you would have to stop. For instance, you can't say that you can't just point out, oh yeah, I like naked women and all that stuff. I like to sleep around, I like to fornicate, I like to be a homosexual, a sodomite, a thief, a drunkard. No, God wants you to stop doing that. That's what these people believed and that you should be doing and that you have the ability to do. Okay. And people didn't like that and started killing them for it.
Sure. Yeah, I understand where that comes from, but right. I mean that's been preached for the last like couple millennia. While with in the last century, I mean with science, I mean that's talked about trying to gain another life, but science has actually doubled your life within the last century alone. So I mean, religion promises, science delivers. I mean, like And the
Well,
fact that
that's
it's sort of a free marketplace of ideas. It's sort of like that issue we talked about earlier. I'm not saying that. I'm not trying to ban this guy from talking about what he believes. I mean, if he wants to do that, fine. But maybe actually talk to people who actually do know or actually have a thought on this, rather than college students.
he was
So,
talking to a professing Christian, Wolf.
yeah. Basically, it's a free marketplace of ideas, and if his ideas actually have like some empirical evidence, then present it and start convert. Do that. I'm
What
not
type
against
of idea has empirical evidence behind it, considering it's a concept and not in someone's head?
I mean, it's the most reliable criteria for everything we have, except for example.
No, it's not the most reliable criteria. It's the most reliable. It's the only reliable criteria to a naturalist, to a materialistic naturalist.
Not only. I mean, there's science, reason, and experience.
Right.
But as those three, science is just the best one.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Your reasoning, your thinking and reasoning, all of that. What put it like this? All of that is useless. Because you have no way of measuring that empirically, scientifically at all. So,
You're talking about using science to prove science.
which is exactly what you're kind of appealing to here.
I wouldn't say that. I would just say it's for the sake of let's say actually knowing how the universe works on a practical basis. I mean,
Oh, okay. Well, you already understand you can't do that. Come on now.
well, that's incredulity. You know what that means, right?
Not really, no.
Well, it's basically a lack of imagination. I can't do these things because you can't imagine it. So I mean, for the last 400 years, we've made technological, scientific advances about the world around us and how it could make our lives better. And for all of those explanations, they invoke, actually none of them invoke any supernatural hypotheses. And all
yes, they do.
Hold on. And all of this is based on like laws of physics, which are descriptions of what we see in nature. The same with the laws of logic, which are descriptions of how we describe our experiences. I mean, that's all this is. So tell me,
no.
I can't. Hold on. When you tell me I can't comprehend this or I can't understand it, that's just incomplete. I mean,
No. I'm not saying you can't comprehend it. I'm not saying you can't understand it. I'm saying you don't want to. You choose not to.
I think I do pretty much like understand it pretty well.
Well, here's my point. Here's my point to establish the fact that you don't, because you said that empirical testing based upon what we do in science will show that, yeah, this is the best reliable evidence that we can go off on. But you also agreed that it's useless to use something like this because I need my senses and reasoning to be in order. I need them to actually function correctly. Otherwise, they're useless. And considering you're a materialistic naturalist, you cannot empirically test them, nor can you scientifically prove that they're accurate and testable.
No, I mean I need to use them because they're a necessary thing for my epistemology to make sense.
Yeah, exactly. But you already know that that's a fallacy, correct?
What fallacy am I invoking?
You're begging the question.
How is that begging the question?
Because in order for you to use your sensing and reasoning to know that your sensing and reasoning is valid, you would have to utilize your sensing and reasoning, wouldn't you?
So you're asking me how do I know that my senses and reasoning are valid?
I'm asking you to justify those things. I'm asking you how do you justify them?
Well, I don't. I mean, they're just necessary.
Right. But you wouldn't have really anything to say, whether it be science, physics, the universe, reality, even you, with that logic. And you know that.
So you're saying, okay, so you're saying that because it's not perfect, that I shouldn't trust it?
No. I'm saying because of what you're appealing to, has no foundation at all. Therefore, you should not utilize it.
I think the foundation is the fact that I have those things in general, and I could use that to form a model.
You can't know that, Wolf. That's begging the question.
I actually, the brain is a malforming apparatus, so, well, apparatus. So, I mean.
And how did you know that? Who told you that?
It's.
Right. See?
Yeah, it's
See what I mean?
It's just a matter of the basic tools that we have. I mean, it's not.
Yeah, but you're not going to. Okay, so I'm not going to use those basic tools to go to a person who is blind to ask him what color does he see.
So
I'm not going to trust his sensing and reasoning pertaining to colors because I know he can't see them.
So you're saying that because a person is lacking a sense that they're incapable of communicating with another person, or
no, I'm saying because you have no foundation to where you cannot justify your senses and reasoning. Therefore, you have no foundation to say that I can know these other things that the foundation I need in order to justify these other things that I know of. I have to use my sense of reasoning, but it has to be valid.
I mean, dude, you do realize, okay, you know who David Hume is, right? David Hume.
Not really, no.
Okay, that's cool. Basically, he's an enlightenment philosopher, right? Like, I'm only gonna explain this for the next 5 minutes because I want to actually move on from it. He invoked the problem of induction. Like, he talked a lot about inductive reasoning, why I was an important thing. He also talked about the problem of induction, how because you'd have to use your system of reasoning to explain that. That's basically the scandal of philosophy, but also the glory of science, and that it's a good tool to employ in science. However,
yeah, but it's a vicious circle.
What he didn't do, however, is resort to a severe skepticism and saying that we couldn't know anything. He actually invoked a practical form of skepticism of which he actually focused things on the empirical evidence and the reproducibility of the experience, how these things can be described accurately to other people, not just to the individual.
Yeah, he basically didn't want to go down the rabbit hole.
Hold on. So basically what he did was he focused on a form of skepticism to where the use of induction is going to be inevitable. Okay, it doesn't matter if it's not if my senses and reasoning aren't perfect, they're still necessary for my epistemology to make sense. So I have to go with that. But I mean, you saying that, okay? So do you think, for example, that the uniformity of nature, like God sustains all that?
Yep.
Okay, so you think God sustains all that? So
I don't think he does. I know he does, and so do you.
Okay, how do you infer a miracle, basically?
A miracle in the biblical sense is what is God intervening or showing a revelation of His power that we normally do not see Him do. So, for instance, even though creation all around us is a miracle to me, but what I know that naturally goes on around me, like the seasons, rain, the sun, the moon, the stars, all those things. That's just that's normal. That's normally what God, sustains. But if He were to, let's say, drop down a car in front of me and the title is already in hand, there's no payments or nothing, and that car is like set there in front of me and saying, this car is yours, that will be a miracle because it's something that does not normally happen.
Okay, well, I want to talk about something more specifically, like the resurrection, for example. Right? Okay, so you believe that that only happened once in history, right? That one resurrection?
Yep.
Okay, so how do you infer that occurred?
How do I infer that occurred?
Yeah, how do you infer that miracle took place?
The Spirit of God. The Bible explains that the same power that was in God was the same power that was able to rise Him up from the dead.
Well, I'm talking more about like the evidence that helps you like support that belief that miracle occurred.
Well, my God-given senses and reasoning, and the fact that I believe in the supernatural. So the fact that I believe God and He is the foundation of my understanding of reality around me, then it's not. I mean, I go back to what Scripture says. Is there anything too hard for God?
Okay. So we do have a missing tomb where we don't find a body. I mean, how do you know the body wasn't stolen? Because we know that occurs. You know, how's that?
Mm-hmm.
Is that an easier explanation than some guy rising from the dead after 3 days, is like zombie style?
Well, let's go. Let's put it like this. It took six. The body was taken down off the cross. It was placed in a burial tomb in a specific place. All the people knew about it. It took 6 men to put that rock in front of the tomb so that no one could get in or out. Laughable. But yeah, basically no one could get in. And to make sure that no one stole the body, they had 2 centurion soldiers, or no, they had 1 centurion soldier. I feel like I'm missing the thing in some places. But basically, they had a centurion soldier to guard it. During that time, we know that it was not the Israelites who could have taken the body, because once Jesus Christ was buried and was considered dead, they were in a depressive state to where they weren't doing anything. The only people that was visiting the tomb was women. So during that time period, okay, this 1 centurion soldier is watching the place. He still is watching this place. Then all of a sudden he falls asleep and the tomb is opened and no one's in it. The centurion soldier is afraid and he is bribed, literally bribed, to say that the disciples took it.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be pretty surprised too if the thing I was guarding went missing. You know, that'd be yeah. You're not gonna get paid tonight for that.
Yeah.
Are you kidding? The result of falling asleep at your post? I think they crucified the soldiers for that as well.
Yeah.
No, they didn't crucify him. They didn't crucify him because it was the Jews' problem, and that's why they paid him. They paid him because when he said that there was no body in it, the Jews bribed him and said, "Okay, say that the 12 disciples stole the body." Which,
So, I mean, they were the most likely like suspects. I mean, they were. I mean, that's a simpler explanation, though. I mean, his body was stolen to be venerated by his believers.
Yeah, but that would be a problem pertaining to the fact that they were never there, ever. They never visited the body, not one time, except for the women who were there, and I know they cannot lift a 1-ton rock.
I mean, I don't know, man. I mean, if we had to compare like the instances of what's up, Angry Mark? By the way, I didn't see that. If we had to compare like the happenings of body stealing over resurrections, I think the easier explanation is body stealing.
Well, that would be a good explanation if that was actually verifiable, because if you want to say a specific group took the body, then you would have to explain where they were, what motivations did they have to take it, and why would they take it. If you can't prove that, then it's just speculation. And considering that what we know of pertaining to the disciples, they had no reason to take the body because, again, this person that they venerated, he is called the Son of God. The disciples themselves knew that he is God. They understood that he has the miracles, this power, all these things he was doing while he was yet alive. Once he's dead, they have no reason to trust. I mean, what now? Their Savior is dead. The person who's supposed to be the king, this person who's supposed to be this mighty person. What are they going to do? They can't. They're depressed at that point. I mean, they have no one to believe into, or that they think.
I mean, if they once believed in this guy and had all this hope in him, and he's sleeping him, and he's dead, I think the simplest thing they would do is somehow take the body. I mean, I
Yeah, but
doubt
they're
that you could have like 24. I mean, it's not like this is a museum. I mean, it's not like they
right.
have like high tech security guards. It's just one guy who got tired and eventually and ultimately lost a corpse. I mean, that's
Yeah.
why it's a secret
How,
discernment of corpses from graveyards and other burial sites. Usually,
yeah. Well, this guy, if you're gonna say that it took 6 people to move this rock and pull a body out, this guy must have been on the most strongest type of sleeping drug that I've ever seen, because it would take a very long time to move.
I mean,
Well, that one rock, if it took 6 men to move it, not to mention, to be able to do that in such a small amount of time that this guy does not wake up.
real quick, those who practice body snatching were often called resurrectionists or resurrection men.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Were they in this region?
yeah.
Uh-huh. And how big were the burials that they took?
Which were the burials?
Mm-hmm.
Well, we have a ton of examples of body snatching occurring in different countries anyway.
Yeah. Okay. How are their burials? How are they buried?
I mean, it depends on the country we're talking about specifically.
Well, I'm talking about the country where Jesus Christ was buried in.
You're talking about ancient Palestine.
Right. I mean, that's what you're bringing up. Not to mention, I mean, see, here's the thing. People die for something that they believe to be a lie. They'll die. You know,
Okay.
Muslims do it all the time. But people will not die for something that they know is a lie.
I really don't see
if you don't mind,
like what's your point? I mean, did I deny that people will die if they get passionate about something?
Well, no. The people who are the closest to Jesus, i.e., the 12 disciples, all of them died a brutal death. All of them died except for one, and that would be John of Patmos, who was exiled. But these are the very same ones who said, we've touched him, we've seen him. He was the very same one who walked in front of us and rose from the dead. We know him. Okay? Now, if anyone's testimony of this person being real is valid, it will be these men, because they were the closest to him. And secondly, if anyone would ever have the most access to the body, it would be, again, these same men who were the closest to him. They know where he was buried, but what reason would they have to die for something that they know was a lie? What reason? You can't tell me all these men just got their heads chopped off. Peter was buried upside down, which is more brutal than being buried, the way Jesus, being crucified the same way Jesus was. You can't tell me, well, Paul's head got chopped off as well. Yeah, you can't tell me that these people, knowing that it's a lie, would die for this.
I mean, a greater miracle would. Hume did say a greater miracle is that something that wasn't, for example, a trick or someone actually did something, like taking a body, for example. I mean, it's really just a simpler explanation, than a violation of the laws of physics.
Or it's just that you don't want to appeal to, you can only appeal to the laws of physics because it's something that you will not understand unless you give up that worldview that you hold.
I mean, dude, we could just look at the archaeology at the time, and I mean, despite this the veracity of people that believe this, I mean, it's not really even talked about all that much, that resurrection thing. I mean,
well, that's actually false. The resurrection is talked about a lot.
Well, yeah, but sources beyond the Bible.
Yeah, it's talked about a lot. Why do you think that there's a such thing as the Book of Martyrs? Because people were literally being killed. Like, have you ever heard of the thing called a Roman candle?
Yeah.
What is it?
Your own stuff.
What's a Roman candle?
A Roman candle?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Roman candle.
Real quick, if I can catch up real quick. So, I'm pretty sure you're a Christian, right, Mac? You believe in
Yes,
God?
I am. Yep.
So just to play catch up, how are you for sure he was buried? I mean, body snatched or whatever.
I'm sorry. Say that one more time.
Didn't you say to Wolf dude right here that you believe that the reason why we can't find God or something like that is because his body was snatched or something like that by grave robbers?
I'm saying it's an impossibility of the contrary. Just like God exists, it's an impossibility of the contrary. It's like that. It's an impossibility that there's body snatchers, to his body, to where it's the way that it's set up. There's no way that it's body snatchers. You can speculate that, but it doesn't hold weight.
Okay.
But how though? That's a lesser miracle though.
Well, I'm still waiting for you to get. I want you to actually explain if you got to what a Roman candle is to them.
We're getting a firework.
Well,
if
no,
you
that's
can you please tell me like what made you become a Christian and why you believe in God and
I became a Christian because I hated God.
Really?
Yeah.
That's weird. Yeah, no, really. Like,
I was brought up in a Christian household, and I was brought up understanding the Jesus Christ, like the Noah's flood, and Moses, and the resurrection of Jesus Christ. I understood all that stuff. I was taught all of that at a young age. I mean, I knew a lot about that stuff. I can quote all the books of the Bible, at least at a young age, in order. All the New Testament and all the Old Testament and New Testament books. I can memorize them in order, and I could probably still do it now. But yeah, I was taught all of that stuff, and at some point, I went through. I didn't really have a relationship with God that as strong as I should have, as strong as I should have. So I kind of looked up to my dad because he was like the theologian in the household. Because if anyone knew the Bible, it was him. And I looked to him. I looked to him for guidance, and at times, the way I sought after him was almost as if he was God, because I felt like no one could know more than he could. And after, wait a second. What's going on?
Yeah, but just going back to like that statement, if we did find the dead body of Jesus, like of a historical Jesus or a person, I mean, wouldn't that falsify your religion?
No, no, because you'll never find them.
well, since we'll never find him, doesn't that mean like even more that he never existed?
Well,
no, that's the whole point. The whole point of him being not found is because of the statement that he says that he will send unto the right hand of the Father, and that he will send the Holy Spirit down unto us, that we will be filled with the Spirit of Christ.
So it's unfalsifiable, basically.
No, it's not unfalsifiable.
I mean, if we can't, I mean, I just asked if like a dead body of Jesus could disprove Christianity, and you said because we'll never be able to find him.
Yeah, you won't, because of exactly what. Again, if you cannot even look at the evidence and say that body snatchers took him, then what makes you think you're going to even find a body legible to say that this is Jesus Christ?
Well, I mean, if his body was stolen, hold on, real quick. If his body was stolen by people and we don't know where they put it, I mean, all that proves is like we can never really be able to like disprove that notion. I mean,
no, it isn't.
that's the
Who
case,
doesn't?
why even look at the evidence given that apparently demonstrates your statement?
Any naturalistic explanation that you could, any naturalistic materialistic explanation that you could bring up, if the highest that you can get to, since you don't use the supernatural, since the highest that you can get to is body snatcher, then
Mac. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Finish and then
oh,
I'll.
I would say this in just to make it short. If that is the best thing that you can speculate as to what happened pertaining to this event, then the only people that you could focus on at best would be the very same people who said that they had nothing to do with it in their state of mind. And that would be the 12 disciples who were never there. And they died for.
How do you know? How do you know, though?
Because it was explained on where they were.
They were never there according to who?
According to themselves.
Wow. Good alibi.
No, it's not.
I have a quick.
Go ahead.
I have a quick question, real quick. Before you know this gets out of hand.
Oh no, we didn't take this deal. We just decided to let him go. Even though we felt bad, we were dickheads about it. So
So my question is, Mac, you said something just a while ago with him saying that, hey, you'll never find God. Well, isn't that basically openly admitting that either he's fake or somehow abandoned us or something like that?
No, he hasn't.
It's like
he hasn't abandoned you.
It seems as if when you said that, like, they're basically openly admitting, yeah, he's fake, but like there's just holes all over the place with that.
Well, no, when you say abandoned you, you're looking at it. One, you have to say that there's actions that he has taken to where he's real. There's actions that he has taken to where you felt like he's abandoned you.
No, but it's literally saying it right in front of your face, though. Basically, it's like, I mean, after all, like Christians, there's two things, right, that stands out to me when I say that. Number one, people who have been saying that God's gonna come, in their lifetime and do some crazy shit, and that's been like literally 2,000 years till any day now. And then, like you said, there's in the scripture or whatever, it's like, yeah, by the way, God's real, but he's never coming. It's like, what?
Well, my question to you, and to me, I kind of feel you on some of the things that some professing Christians do say, because I'm gonna tell you right now, a lot of people who say that they're professing Christians and say that they're, they've been given some type of revelation from God, doesn't make them Christian. It doesn't make them followers of Christ. And that's based upon this.
Did they? I believe in God. That's it.
No, just because they believe in God does not make them Christians.
Well, yeah. That's the kind of like the description of a Christian is believing in a higher power. So if they believe in God, that's Christian. And then if you're saying they're not Christian, then you're committing a fallacy.
No, it's not committing a fallacy, because the standard that I hold to, which is the scriptures, clearly says that even the demons believe.
Did he cut out, or is that just me? Yo, Mac, refresh. Oh shit. Dude, I think it's that guy.
Yeah. Shit.